Over the last decade of running ads for ECOM brands and doing over $100 million in revenue for clients in my advertising agency, I've seen quite a few brands now scale to a couple $100K a month to even a couple $1 million a month, and then fall face first on their face on like warm asphalt in the middle of the summer and just like really hurt really bad. And in today's video, I really just want to kind of talk about these hidden bottlenecks that I just see all the time from, just over the years of just seeing brands scale and then die. And literally for things that are just completely unrelated to ads, things like mindset, systems, operations, and all of these things. So with that being said, let's dive into today's video. So we'll switch it up a little bit today and we'll start off with mindset. Mindset's usually not the initial thing I would talk about, but just kind of give you guys some little different perspective today. So there's been so many brands now that we scaled, and just a simple mindset of the founder, once they started making more money, just completely got destroyed. And this is something I've just seen over the years where people start making an insane amount of money really quick, and they just simply don't know how to handle the stress. They don't know how to handle just the responsibility they have now. And I can go down a numerous amounts of stories and stuff like this. We had this one particular client where, we scaled them from 30K a month to over $100-something thousand a month in revenue. We were doing consulting with them for a little bit, I think 1 or 2 months. Then eventually I just came on board and started running all their ads, and we scaled them to, I think 150K a month within like 30 days, 60 days of us working together. And pretty much after that, like everything was good. Performance was good. Everything was good. I mean, we just tripled to 4x their business within a relatively short period of time. And at that time, I think I was charging like $2,500 a month with my advertising agency. I'm talking about 3-4 years ago. And this client let us go right after. And I'm like, hey, what's going on? Performance is good. You have stock, you have inventory, everything's solid. Like, you're ready to scale further. And this client was just simply very honest with me. Hey, Nick, 100K a month is the goal. We're happy here now. I don't want to seem like a sellout. We're just going to coast to this. This is perfectly fine. I don't want to go any further than this. And at that time, I was just blown away. What? And I completely understand if we were underperforming and we were under delivering. It could be a very valid excuse just to kind of get out of the relationship. But when you're paying someone $2,500 and you're making significant more amounts about that back, it's just not going to be that case. So I believed everything this client was saying, but at the same time, it made me realize that just because you want to scale to a certain level with specifically working with clients in this case, because I know everyone who's a founder on this channel wants to hit $1 million, $2-3 million a month with their ecom brand. Just because you want to hit that number, if the client isn't on board, you're going to struggle because they might have an amazing product and you'll start scaling and crushing, but they're mentally comfortable at a certain level. So if you're an agency and you want to blow up a client to say $1 million a month, $500,000, $300,000 a month, whatever your number is you want to help a client hit, if they're already not on board with hitting that number, that's going to lead to a problem down the relationship, down the line. It's almost like in a dating world where if you're dating a girl and for a fact you're dating to marry and she's just dating to sleep around or whatever, then in that particular case right there, that's going to be a problem if you never talked about that at the beginning of the relationship. So you need to make sure you set the proper expectations as a agency when hey, we want to scale you to a certain number right there. And this is what goes into my next thing. So working with this other client, and this client, I wouldn't really say had a mindset issue, but it still falls within mindset of just being strategic about how you continue to grow the business. And this particular client, we helped them scale. We came in, they were doing about 150K a month in revenue. I think they had a goal of a 6-month goal of hitting 100K a month profit. And I think we hit that in 3 or 4 months for them. And then after that, they had some other goal, and we just completely blew that goal out the water. Long story short, we made them 5 to 10x more than originally what they planned to be happy with us after our agency fee and all of those good things right there. So we helped this client crush it, scaled them 7 figures a month, and then about a month or 2 later, pretty much parted ways with us. It wasn't necessarily a performance thing. They made so much cash, they decided to invest this cash into other parts of the business, which allowed them to kind of take a new direction or made them believe that they needed to take a new direction to scale further. So keep that in mind. They took an action, scaled up, Then once they hit a certain number, which was for them was, I think it was like $1.5, $1.8 million a month, decided to stop doing that action to take a new action, which dropped them like this. face first in the ground. And that's another thing I will see often working with clients where, they'll make a lot of money, and then they just feel like they no longer need to do that particular action right there. And this is a big problem because it's like you taking the actions we got you there. So why would you stop it? Like if I go on a caloric deficit for 30, 60, 90 days, get shredded, and then, I hit that goal. Now let me stop doing that action and get fat. Then why would I get upset if I got fat? Because I stopped taking that action. So I should know that, hey, that's the results I'm going to achieve now. So you have to understand that the actions you take on a day-to-day basis is going to create your reality. So when we scale a client up and when they want to stop taking that action because they believe they need to be doing something else, in this particular case, this client, felt like they needed to rebrand their store. So they rebranded their whole store. They hired a branding agency. This branding agency convinced them that they needed to build an in-house Facebook ads team. So they parted ways with us. They rebranded their whole store. And then, long story short, it didn't work out well for them. In fact, actually, I had the privilege of talking to this client not too long ago. And, they said that was their worst decision they've ever made, was parting ways with us and listening to that particular design agency right there. No hard feelings at all to that client at all. I respect the fact that that client reached out to me and told me that. And that was a very, I would say, prideful thing, but client put his ego down to tell us that. That was very respectful right there. So I really appreciate that a lot. But again, it just kind of shows right there, like when you start making a lot of money, you're going to want to throw money and spend a lot of money because you're not used to making all that money. And when you start throwing it around into directions and you start allowing all these other people coming in, it can distract you from the actions that got you there. And that can be a big problem that can cause you to scale down. Now, we faced similar issues before with other clients we've helped scale. There's been 2 clients now that we've helped them scale. I mean, technically 3 with this particular client I just told you guys about, but 3 clients now that we've scaled to a 7-figure a month number. And because they're making so much more money now, they need to start hiring people and start building up that kind of corporate ladder right there. And all 3 of those clients has hired people where it was like marketing managers, which marketing managers are just simply people that manage the marketing team and like all the marketing efforts. So that way that client can go do other stuff now in the business. And 2 of these particular clients hired marketing managers and completely removed us from communicating with the client. So like we've spent, 6, 12 months building a close one-on-one relationship together, scaling their ads, crushing it for them and stuff. Then they're like, hey, Nick, you did so well by 10xing my business. I'm gonna go hire someone now that's only gonna talk to you. I'm no longer gonna talk to you. I'm gonna do this other thing in the business. And then this marketing manager will come in, and I kid you not, these marketing managers they hire are never good. And the reason why I say they're never good is because these marketing managers are usually people that are getting paid anywhere between $3,000 to $5,000 a month. They're overseas. Nothing wrong with overseas people or anything like that. But, just long story short, why, instead of going scaling brands and building brands and stuff, why would you just take a fee of $3,000 to $5,000 a month to just go tell a team what to do? And that's it, and no upside potential. Anyway, so 2 of these clients hired these marketing managers that removed the client from communicating with us. And now we're only talking with this marketing manager, and this marketing manager will just come up with these craziest things that makes them feel like I guess they feel like they have authority over us and feel like they have to tell us what to do every day. So like, we've already 10x the client. So both of these scenarios, one client, we took them from $1,000 a day to $15,000 a day in ad spend at a 5x ROAS. This other client, we've taken them from $300K a month in revenue to it was like right around $22 million a month in revenue at a 3x ROAS. Both extremely happy clients. We took all the action, we got them there. Then these marketing managers will come in and we'll simply just start to control the deal and start trying to tell us, oh, hey, we're doing everything wrong. We need to set up all these campaigns. We need to stop doing this and start doing this. And I'm just looking at the marketing manager like, yo, like we literally 10x this client. You came in after we already did all the work, and now you're trying to tell us what to do. And again, it goes back to that action that I was telling you guys before, where it's like, when you take an action and you start doing that action and it gets you a result, don't stop doing that action because you feel like, oh, you're making money now, you don't need to do it. That's when you need to double down on the action, not remove the actions. Exact same scenario here. And there's been multiple times where we've had to talk to the marketing manager and either say, hey, look, me and you are both on the same page of scaling the client with revenue. We've ran ads way longer than you, spent more than you, and here's why we're doing what we're going to do. Or, hey, are you telling this as a thing that we have to do, or just simply feedback on ideas of what you think we should do? And that's sense right there. So there's been quite a few times now that we've got some heated conversations with marketing managers, and then long story short, either have to tell the client, hey, you need to fire this person, or B, there's been situations where the marketing manager even like recommended working with other agencies, and other agencies have came on board because they thought we were doing a bad job, and we just completely destroyed these other agencies when it was like, 1v1 type of thing right there, like 1v1 on Rust, Modern Warfare 2 days. Now, some other things I've seen over the years of just completely destroying brands after they scaled. We'll kind of get away from mindset now and look at other things. There's been situations with inventory where people will either purchase too much inventory and, not have the right cash flow, and like it just fucks them financially from like a P&L perspective on a month-to-month basis. There's been situations on the opposite side. People don't purchase enough inventory, and then they have to do like pre-orders and stuff. We're working with this one particular client that's they scaled up. We helped them scale from 30K a month, about 300K a month. It was my first ever client, or ECOM client, back in 2019. We've taken them from, 30K a month to 300K a month in revenue. Well, at about 300K a month in revenue, all their inventory was on pre-order. And at this time, I'm telling the client, hey, we need to scale back. You do not have inventory in stock. And if we keep scaling here, you're going to probably face people wanting refunds and stuff like that if you can't fulfill these orders. And under my heavy guidance of not doing that, this particular client said, hey, Nick, with all respectfully, we're going to keep spending, we're going to keep scaling, and we're going to keep going at it. Inventory will be in next week. We'll be fine. Long story short, pretty much from like September to November, about 3 months, we only did pre-orders, and we're doing about 300K a month worth of pre-orders. And this particular supplier for this client kept pushing back the date of which the inventory would be in. So it'd be like, hey, next week, now 2 weeks, now 3 weeks, now 4 weeks, and every week would be a longer couple weeks. Long story short, this client completely ran dry. About like January, we parted ways, and then about a month later, they filed for bankruptcy because they did a couple months of pre-orders, and what happened is all of these pre-orders, people started charging back on their credit card. So let's just say 3-4 months of pre-orders. That's 300-400K a month. That's, I don't know, let's just say close to $1 million worth of revenue right there. They were doing about 3x ROAS. So about $300,000 of that million was, I don't know, let's just say ad spend. They've paid the supplier or manufacturer probably about $100,000-200,000. That's about $500,000 right there in product costs and shipping, or product costs and ad spend. And then the last about 500K, they started getting a ton of chargeback. People are charging back, and they had to dish out a ton of cash. Literally, the person had to sell their Lamborghini. Person had to downsize their house. It's not fun. Not fun at all for that particular person right there. So inventory management can be a big killer right there. When you start scaling up, don't make the same mistake of doing the whole, pre-order thing. If you're going to do pre-orders, I'm perfectly okay with pre-orders. Just know for a fact that you will have inventory on that date. If you know you won't have inventory on that date, don't try to do pre-orders unless it's within a 30-day window. That's the best advice I can give you for that. Now, I'm going to give you last thing we'll talk about today, probably one of the biggest killers of an e-com business that I've ever seen in my life. This is LTV, retention of customers. So one particular client, they were doing about 30K a month all year. January through September, they were doing about 30K a month all year. Then October, they did $300,000. November, they did 3.5 million. Then December, they did 2.5 million. So the collective total over 3 months, they did about $5.5-6 million in revenue. And on new customers, they were selling a kids product, and moms were buying with the intention of giving this product as a gift for the Christmas, the holidays, all of those good things. Now, when January came around, they went from doing about $2.5 million, $3 million a month in revenue. December, about midway from December, they were doing 100, 200K days in December. Then all of a sudden, boom, fell all the way down to about $1,000 a day in revenue. And I think they did a total of $24,000 in January. And that's when we kind of parted ways with them. And, those a couple warning signs gave this particular client. Number one, hey, you're riding on the fact that people are buying this kids product specifically for the holidays. If you go look at kid toy sales, 90% of revenue for kid toy manufacturers is going to be in Q4. 90% of the revenue for the year is within 3 months. The other 75% of the year, you're going to make 10% of your revenue. And that's exactly what happened in this particular situation here. So, of course, client fell down, freaked out. And this client spent a ton of money on inventory. So pretty much all the profit they made over November and December was like literally all towards inventory, because they thought they were going to do another $4 or $5 million in January and keep scaling up to the moon. But the reality, the market did not exist based off how they were selling this product. And the second thing that they made a mistake on was, I've told them multiple times that we need to be engineering for retention. Retention is people coming back and buying from you. If you turn off all your ads today, will you continue to make money? That's the big question there. If you're not continuing to make money, if you turn all your ads off today, that is a problem. That's a liability for your business. All the top ecom brands that scale to multiple 7 figures a month and stay there, or the ecom brands that have engineered retention in their business. They have customers that keep coming back and buying more. This particular client didn't have that. This particular client scaled up only on new customers. They acquired about over 100,000 new customers. All they had to do was go hard on testing products against those new customers to see what those new customers want to buy again, and start being strategic with upsells, not from like a in-cart or something like that, but hey, you purchased from us 30 days ago, here's the next product that's gonna go really well based off what we helped you solve the first time. Great example, I'll do the course side right here. I'm on the info product space, I have my ebook, it's $29. This is something I can push hard with ads, and I can push this ebook at a loss with ads, and I do it all the time. It's a $29 ebook, and I pay about $40 to $50 to acquire a customer with that ebook. Yes, I'm losing $10 to $20 every time someone buys it, but I'm upselling them to my inner circle, which has about a $5,000 to $6,000 LTV. Then some of those inner circle students come to my agency, which has about a $50,000 to $60,000 LTV. So when you look at it, like I'm losing 10 to 20 bucks on the front end right there. But then with all these upsells and the percentage of customers that go into those upsells, I'm at like a 10 to 20x return on ad spend on that 40 to 50 bucks that I spend to acquire that customer into my funnel. We want to look at this the same way with ecom. What are other products that we can go create and keep having our customers buy more? That's how we build a sustainable 7-figure a month ecom store. Well, that was a lot of different things. Hope you guys learn some tips from this. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button for new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And if you want me to come in your business and help you scale, we help ecom brands that are at about 100K a month scale to $1 million months. Click the link below to have Nick Theriot run your ads. And if you don't want me to run your ads, but you want me to hop on a one-on-one call with you, go over your ad account, your creatives, and give you feedback and everything, then click the link below to have Nick Theriot mentor you. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you have a good rest of y'all day. Peace out.